All right, hello and welcome everybody. It's another podcast of Maximize Your Nerd. Woo! Yay. I'm your host over here, Kyle, and I've got Mr. Noel off screen.
Hey guys, again, I am on the losing end of the podcast. I don't have information in front of my face this time. You just get to hear my disembodied voice during the podcast.
Yeah, we're waiting for that third microphone to come in, but we don't want to wait for it. We don't want to wait for anything. We just want to get right into this right now. Jump right into things.
Just do it.
So today our topic is going to be comics, and I've brought two guests over here. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. First, we got Rob in the center. Go ahead, tell us about yourself.
My name is Robert. I am a graphic designer, professional. My company is budgetdesigns.net. Free plug.
All the plugs. Central Florida businesses. That's what I'm telling you guys about.
Yes.
That's what I'm here for. Central Florida. Woo. All right, and then we've also got Jose down there at the end with the microphone right in front of his pearly white teeth.
Right here. Yep. My name is Jose, as he said, and I'm a cartoonist and animator. And you can find me at Jose Gomez, Hozay Gomez, on Instagram and Twitter.
All right. So I already mentioned it. Today we're talking about comics. Last episode we talked about anime, video games, and MegaCon. MegaCon was a huge thing. Well, today going right into comics. So, all right, we want to start with a comic, the update of the comic universe. So, what do you guys got?
Well, we got the two heavyweights. You know, every year they try to do a big event. Mm-hmm. We got Marvel coming up this summer with their big event called Original Sin.
Okay.
It's going to follow the story of the Watcher. And for those who don't know, the Watcher is this entity. There are a few of them, and they watch certain sections of the planet watching major events. Well, this story picks up where the Watcher has been murdered.
Oh.
And in his murder, all of the sins that he has witnessed and watched throughout Marvel's history are going to get revealed. So we're going to see how the characters react.
Okay.
They have stories with Fantastic Four, major stories. So we're going to see what sin has been revealed that almost breaks the family. So.
I think I remember the Watchers. I think they made a cameo in the Secret Invasion.
Yes.
I do remember that inside of that. It was Secret Invasion was one of my favorites. It was right after the Civil War, and it didn't end the way I wanted it to. But anyways, okay, so that's the major event.
Yeah, that's starting in April. It should go for the whole summer, and it should be a big deal because anytime the Watcher's involved in the Marvel Universe, there's always leads to something big, a dramatic change.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And the DC Universe is a little more quiet. They're finishing up their Forever Evil storyline. That's where the Crime Syndicate has entered their world of the main DC Universes. Mm-hmm. And now there's been a major reveal in the last issue 5. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but...
If you haven't read it yet.
Yeah, if you haven't read it yet.
If you haven't read it yet, we won't spoil anything.
Check out Forever Evil if you
out.
haven't, though. It's very good. It should be wrapping up soon, and they've been very quiet about the next big story.
All right, so that's ending this month, or
the next issue should be out this month. Yep.
Okay, so look forward to that, guys. That seems to be a really nice arc they got going there. Haven't read it up on myself. I'm backlogged with so many comic books. It's not even funny. Like comics are, my God, spending way too much money on comics. You guys,
it's an expensive habit. Let's just say that.
More so than when we were kids.
Yeah.
I remember when comics used to cost like 75 cents, and then when they started going up, I know I'm showing my age right now. I remember when comics were about that for G.I. Joe and Transformers. I was really big into G.I. Joe back then. Now, when I was in high school, they were in the $1 range, like 75 range. The Dark Knight series, Joke, all the good stuff started being released around that time in the 90s.
I remember the most that you would pay was for like the special issues was like maybe $2-3.
With the special hologram cards.
Right, yeah, with the holographic covers and the gimmicks that they come out with.
Well, I remember the special edition graphic novels is what you pay the
Right.
premium for. It's not like that. Buddy of mine, I think he's getting like 5 titles. It's been like $45.
Yep. So
every other week, if not every week.
That's what Ryan.
One book, one 20-page book is about $3.99 plus tax.
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's what I'm used to right now.
So sometimes it's best to just wait for the trades.
Yeah, wait for a trade. That's sometimes I just don't want to. I don't want to wait, man. Some of those you got to grab right when they're sitting there. They're so tempting. You just can't.
I think that's why they make those like major events every year, so that you have to go and buy each issue, or else you'll be out of the loop.
It's true. It's true. Everybody's if you're in the comic book world, people are always going to be talking about what's the latest.
Yeah.
So you're one issue behind. You don't get to hang out with the cool
You're
kids.
not in the conversation because we don't. We're talking about spoilers, and just because you didn't read issue 5, you need to go somewhere else.
You're not maximizing your nerd, man.
You're not.
Gotta maximize your nerd.
What is it? The Amazing Spider-Man's coming back, right?
Yes.
I have a buddy who owns a comic store. Said the first issue is going to be like $6
$6
for like a variant edition.
Oh.
Wow.
For the return of the
Return
Amazing
of Peter
Spider-Man?
Parker. Yeah.
The return of
Peter
Peter Parker.
Parker's coming back.
Yeah, that's right. What was it? Superior Spider-Man is now going to end. Was it this month?
Ended this
I believe
month.
it ended. Yeah. It
Yeah,
ended
or
this
it
month.
already did end it.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's a spoiler because they've been talking about it for months. So even Dan Slott, the writer, said, Peter will be back. And
if people don't know this, he won. Sorry.
I was about to say, if I'm off screen, but I can't grab their attention any other way. I was gonna say, if there are any spoilers during this show, you can write Jose at his Facebook site, or Robert as well at Budget Designs. But yeah, man, it's if you see us waving at people, or if you see us, we're recording live again at Chibi's Boba. And this is our location. Feel free to come down.
You can't see
during
that up there. Never mind.
the Guren logon flag you can't see, but and we mentioned about that last episode too, that we do have a Guren logon flag above us. But yeah, feel free to stop by and watch us. Feel free to we have this wonderful outdoor seating outside that you can see. But anytime we're doing a podcast, feel free to stop by, say hello.
Do that.
There's a coworker there. That's
Feel free to
Carnet back
photobomb
there,
right back there.
just doing a wiener crab dance back there. Anyway, right. I wanted to talk this Superior Spider-Man. If people haven't been following that was the Spider-Man where Dr. Octavius's mind was put into the body of Peter Parker. What was the reasoning behind that?
well,
Dr. Octopus was dying.
Okay, dying. Poor Dr. Octavius.
yeah, he's dying, and his last master plan is, to defeat Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So he makes his ultimate plan, which is to put himself inside his body.
Okay.
So for a little bit of time, Peter Parker was stuck in Doc Ock's body, which is in a coma. So no one really knows what's going on there. And Doc Ock is hanging around Spider-Man, and you start to notice these little changes in Peter Parker. And people around him, the Avengers, start to notice.
Yeah.
He's kind of a jerk
It sounds
now.
really interesting. It's on my to-do list. Like I said, man, comics are way too expensive right now. I'm waiting for the full omnibus of that. I'll get that out of the way.
Definitely. But if anybody wants to read a good Spider-Man story, I know it's not your favorite Peter Parker, but it's definitely a nice, welcomed refresh to the character.
Very interesting twist on that.
Yeah, it's definitely good.
And I remember when they first announced it, Dan Slott got death threats on Twitter and things like that.
Wow, really?
These fans, they really gave him a hard time. And he's warned them, there's going to be a major change coming. He also introduced Spider-Man 2099 into the main timeline now.
Okay.
So based on the events of the comics, so all these characters are from the different timelines are starting to appear, things like that. So fans were upset about that.
Yeah, that's one of the topics we're going to be covering in a little while, is the elitism of comic book fans, and everything just makes them mad. They're never satisfied. But
Ever.
That's an entire whole different topic, and it's on our to-do list.
I know one of them, and I know this is a sore spot for Robert, is Batfleck. But I know we're going to talk about that in a bit. But let me let Kyle take over, and I think the next thing we're moving on to is what's going on, right?
Yeah. Well, we've already touched on this.
Captain America.
Yes. Was it a new Captain America?
The Winter Soldier?
No, comic book wise.
The comic book wise? Well, there's not much going on with him. He just recently he got trapped in a dimension where he's been tortured.
Oh boy.
But it's been for years. But of course, what feels like years in an alternate dimension is only
It's only been
days.
a couple minutes,
But
days.
he's literally been there for multiple years. So when the character has returned, he's a changed man. He basically lived a third life, you could say, because he's been trapped in this dimension. So now he's back, and him and Tony are in the process of rebuilding the Avengers.
Okay.
After the Age of Ultron stuff, they noticed that they have too many loose cannons in Avengers. They have to get their, like at a point it was like every Marvel Universe character was an Avenger.
Yeah.
So now they're looking on the wall. I'm like, no Wolverine, no Spider-Man. Like they're choosing.
Spidey.
they're really making it like something elite again. I remember when Avengers first came out, it was an honor to be an Avenger.
Oh yeah.
Now it's like they're
You
giving
get to be
out,
an Avenger, then get out.
they're just
It's a
giving
rite
out
of passage.
memberships. They're just
No,
giving them
not
out on the
even.
street. But yeah, so
I'm an Avenger.
Yeah, Noel's an Avenger. If you guys didn't know, if you've ever come in the shop, you see him. He's always doing Avenger things, like not doing anything.
Oh, man. Thrown under the bus, thank you.
Anytime.
While we're on the Captain America subject, Winter Soldier is coming out. The midnight showing is tonight. Today is April the
third.
3rd. I was like,
2, 3, 3.
Wait, today's the 3rd? Wow, I'm putting up 4
when
fingers.
this podcast
It comes out the 4th.
It's already going to be out.
Today's the 3rd.
We were joking that it's Captain America, but America is one of the last countries to get Captain. And I was told it was because of pirating issues.
Yeah, that's I heard that as well. I think it's mostly. I mean, really, does it matter where they release it? Because they're still going to upload it somehow.
Yeah,
It doesn't really matter what country you release it in. Somebody's going to walk in there because the copyright laws are different in every country.
exactly.
So you could have a guy in Malaysia with a camera just.
And the authorities won't stop him at all because they don't care.
But shouldn't Captain America be ours first?
Yeah, it should.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, that was what who's the studio other than Marvel?
Disney.
What, Disney?
Disney. Yeah, it was Disney dropping the ball on that one. I don't know what they were thinking with that.
I don't know, because it's like other countries are always the first to put it up on bootleg anyway.
Yeah.
Americans are too lazy.
It's always like
to
Norway
put it up.
or
So
Sweden.
yeah.
Yeah, it's always like
You
a
can't
German or a
stop the
Russian
piracy.
cam or
Yeah.
a Malaysian
It's always got Russian subtitles,
or
right?
even Chinese. They just walk in there with a camera, just prop it somewhere, and off they go.
Yeah. It's like, you can't stop it. Them trying to just means that America's the last one to get to watch Captain America. Way to go, guys.
Good job.
Thanks. A little irony in that, but... Alright, what else was there?
The
New Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, alright, let's jumping into movies a little bit now, since we're talking about Captain America. Yeah, we got Amazing Spider-Man 2. When's that release? Got a date on that?
I know
don't know, one of these days.
It's in May, definitely.
Definitely in May.
Yeah, May.
The first week of May. I want to say May.
I want to say the 4th. I
6th.
could be wrong.
Let's see who's right. May 6th. May 2nd.
Ooh.
All right, we're all wrong.
Yeah, all wrong. Well, you said it was May. It's close enough.
Yeah, first week of May.
First week of May, that will be coming out.
This is one of those movies that is building off of, the new Mark Webb, Amazing Spider-Man, which already got, mixed reactions from the fans.
Mm-hmm.
So now, of course, what he does, he gives them more reason to complain. So, the fans we can
Never
never
stop
please,
complaining.
so why try to please them? And that's one of the things I speak about often, is that it's okay when someone who knows nothing about the comics, if they respect the comic and they want to make a change to make it more accessible, it's okay. And the comic book fans need to understand that. It's
the
okay.
the comic book fans got to realize they have the comic books. That, like, if you've been reading comics for years, you always know the comics are always going to be better. Like, I mean, they can make a movie that's 1-for-1 of the comic book, and there's still going to be people who are just like, nah, still not as good as comic.
Exactly.
They changed the word from the panel.
This is
off.
What was the movie?
That scenery, that wasn't
Watchmen.
there in the panel in the comic.
Watchmen did a pretty damn good job of following the comic.
Yeah, and that's a good example. That's a perfect
a lot
example.
of
Really good,
people still
and
hate
people still hated it. I thought it was a great movie.
I thought it was
Can-
awesome.
Like,
I don't know if this book has been out since the 80s, so if you haven't read it yet,
come on,
I'm sorry.
well,
I'm
there's no
sorry.
spoilers
I'm
here.
sorry to spoil it. But the whole thing, the finale with the squid and stuff, that would not work in the film.
Yeah,
And Zack Snyder,
There's a
like that's one of those changes that's okay. Like,
Yeah, they have to change some things with the audience because some people are just like, why do they do that? Because it's a comic, that's why.
Yeah.
But the other thing is they don't understand that a lot of the stuff from a comic book will not translate well into film. So they have to make those changes.
Yeah. And it's perfectly okay to do so. I mean, people are making a movie not only to entertain, but they are trying to make a penny off of it. Like, they're trying to make a pretty penny. You can't really knock them if they're trying to do something that only works in theaters and doesn't work in a comic. So
definitely my favorite part about Amazing Spider-Man is that every character that they've released, like a villain, has been torn apart. I remember when they first announced the Rhino, and you saw him in the mech. Like, he's a perfect example, too. He had the mech suit Rhino. Which is something that maybe in the real world you see, compared to a dude inside a Rhino outfit. Like, that's weird. Like, we accept it because we're comic book fans.
Yeah.
But if you see, like, some guy running down the street inside a Rhino suit with superhuman strength, it's not going to work.
You're going to think he's from a mental institute or something.
Where did he find a Rhino suit?
He's coming from one of the furry parties.
Which is hilarious, because, again, we're talking about what's changed in today's society. Not only just movies, but I've seen kids walking around in the pajamas with the whole bat suits or flying squirrels.
I've worn one of those lovely kigurumis are the big thing from Japan. It's a animal, pretty much onesie without the feet, little booties that are just popular pajamas from Japan.
Rhino running around.
In one of those,
you think he escaped from a convention? He was a cosplay.
Is MegaCon back in town?
Yeah, that's what you think.
Where's the convention?
Just follow him inside the bank. That's where the convention is.
And I know Electro. First of all, this is my biggest problem with Electro. No one cares about Electro until you turn them black. Like, all of a sudden, it's a big... Like, Electro is this, like, C-level villain that no one cared about.
He made really bad electric puns.
And he had the worst costume design ever. He had like a giant star. And then all of a sudden...
with the lightning bolts
off of his face.
Awful.
Your webs are useless against me, for all the power of electricity is mine.
So one of the stupidest masks of supervillain has ever worn.
The Vulture.
Well, Mysterio with the fishbowl.
Yeah, so imagine if you was to see that in a movie. It would like lose all its appeal.
Doing?
Yeah.
Save that for the animated films.
I think the cartoons are starting to change their characters to make more sense. Because the giant fishbowl, I would love to see Mysterio done. And they could do it, but they can't give him the little X pattern, the green suit with the purple cape and the
and the fishbowl head.
Fishbowl head.
Yeah,
he's got the eyes.
Those are little subtle things I think they could keep, but everything else, like the Green Goblin, a lot of problems. Like, people are so upset because he's not wearing a costume, like a mask, like in the comics. It's like, it's more of a physical transformation, and people are upset about that, but I'm looking forward to Amazing Spider-Man 2.
So me too. I really enjoyed the first one. I've always liked Spider-Man. It's something that I grew up with. I mean, I remember just as a kid just running around thwipping all over the place, and I still do it to my friends if they, trying to make them shut up, just thwip them. Just... everyone gets it, but yes, it looks really good.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up real quick. The comparison between this Amazing Spider-Man and the original trilogy.
Right, the Sam Raimi.
You can't do that. It's a completely different generation, basically.
Yeah. There was a huge gap in between.
You just can't do that. There's no way that you
I always
can
thought it was
compare
weird.
that.
Sam Raimi was doing Spider-Man because I had loved the Evil Dead series.
Yeah,
and he went from those kind of films to Spider-Man. It was a little weird to do that. But if you guys ever watched the behind the scenes for those Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, it's better than the movies themselves. Like Spider-Man 3, it didn't happen. But if you watch the behind the scenes, it's pretty funny. The commentary.
Because of Venom. Venom was garbage.
absolutely.
Number 3. And Venom is one of the best villains Spider-Man has. And they just totally screwed the pooch.
Probably one of his biggest, if not the biggest.
Yeah, it is definitely one of the biggest. Like, if you think Spider-Man, you're gonna think of Venom too.
Automatically, Venom.
They've been nemesis for a long time.
Well, that's the thing that Sony, they realized that Venom is popular, so then they talked about expanding the Spider-Man universe, and I could see a Venom film happening.
Yeah, wasn't there? There's talks of doing a standalone standalone Venom.
Yeah.
And they didn't know if they were going to use Carnage in that one, or I can't remember who it was. I was talking about that with someone at MegaCon.
Okay.
That was something, but yeah, it's definitely talks of a Venom movie, standalone.
Have you guys seen the? It's like a short film with Ryan Quanten, the guy from True Blood. There's a short film. I think it's French. I don't remember, but it's the
I think
Ryan Quanten. He's the brother in True Blood. Plays Eddie Brock. It's a really awesome short film.
Okay.
You don't think he'll pull it off, but the way they shoot it it's amazing.
Okay.
So if you guys haven't seen it, go to YouTube, check it out.
How long is it?
Oh God, I want to say somewhere between 10, maybe 15 minutes. Could be a little longer.
We could always just take a quick break and be right back, and we could watch it.
We could do that.
All right. So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna watch this little short film. I'll put it up on the. I'll put a link for it. You want to hold up a link over there, Jose? Bam. That's what it'd be at. You guys could just quick check that out, and we'll be back in just a moment after we watch this. All right, and we're back from that nice little short film that we posted there. It's pretty interesting. Done in like a black and white film-esque with French subtitles. Gives it that nice indie feel, but Venom in that. Venom was pretty good.
If Sony could keep it in that tone and keep it maybe more in a horror angle.
Yeah.
To take Venom serious, I think they have another hit.
Yeah, I definitely... Venom is a scary guy. He's scary. If they keep in that dark tone, that's how it would be
One
done.
last thing about Venom, before we move on. They have to keep him a villain or like a really dark hero. I know he's very popular, but to me, Venom lost all his appeal once he became the anti-hero.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
We've already got enough anti-heroes out there.
Yeah.
Just what everyone almost becomes an anti-hero at one point. I know in the universe, Marvel universe right now, like everyone that used to be a big boss or a big bad guy is now an anti-hero. They're helping, like we were talking about that before. Magneto is now like part of the X-Men.
Yeah.
Doctor Doom is now a good guy. Like, what happened?
It's weird.
What happened to the bad guys?
I don't know. Now they have all these. They're trying to. I think they're just trying to create new villains.
Yeah,
and maybe a lot of them are not sticking. So.
A lot of people have those ties to the old ones, but then they don't want the new ones, even though like, oh, I'm tired of this. I don't want to see them anymore. All right, here's a new one. Oh, we don't like that guy. What are they? Hold on.
This is what happens when everybody wins and everybody gets a trophy, even though they've lost. This is a society where there's no more villains. That's all I had to say.
No more villains, guys. Bad guys are not wanted anymore. But they have to keep Venom as a bad guy. Definitely got it. They got to do a movie on it.
Yeah. So I'm totally in. Like, I want to see what Sony does with the franchise. I'm all in.
Yeah, so I'll look forward to that, guys. We'll keep you posted on news on that.
As long as it's not a disaster like Spider-Man 3, we're good.
I don't remember a third Spider-Man movie. Oh.
I thought it got canceled.
There was none.
Just like they never made, like they only had those 2 X-Men movies, and they were gonna make a third, and they never did.
Oh yeah.
Changed their minds about it.
Yeah, something about Juggernauts. I don't know. All right, well, since we're on the topic of movies and comics, let's just keep going along that. So I know a big one that's on everyone's mind: Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Man, since the original script was leaked sometime last year with the aliens, and they were just called Ninja Turtles, and they weren't teenage or mutants, and oh man, the internet blew up over that. If you guys remember that, it was a horrible script. Nobody liked it. Not even the person who wrote it liked it. It was an abomination. But now we got these new Turtles, these lovely Michael Bay. What do you guys feel about this?
Where do I begin? I'm looking forward to watching it. Mm-hmm. I want to see where the story goes, how they come about creating the Turtles. Like everyone else, I'm pretty sure has seen the trailer already. No one is happy with the way they look facially. Everything else is fine, but people just seem to have a problem facially.
You know what? I think we should play the trailer right over Jose's face for a little bit, because he seems to be happy with it.
You should put the face of the Ninja Turtle right here.
All right. On his face right now, we'll be showing the reveal of the Ninja Turtles' faces when he goes and takes off the mask. He's like, "Look, I'm nothing. I'm Shrek." Oh, apparently, hey, now you're an all-star. Let's not go there. But it's mixed reviews on that. We've got one who despises the looks of it. No, you don't really. You don't despise them. You just don't care for them.
Yeah, I would have preferred that they stuck with the original look. Just that roundish.
We've already had a movie where they look like that.
That is true.
I mean, they could have just made a sequel of those old movies, which were
no.
Go Ninja!
Go Ninja! Go Ninja! Go! Go Ninja! Go Ninja! Go! Go Ninja! Break it down!
not a lot of people like those. I was a kid. I loved the heck out of them. Those were hilarious. But and then we got Jose over here saying you do like them.
I think first I want to say Michael Bay's producing the film.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Like,
Producing, not directing.
He's not directing.
Right.
But even though his name is plastered all over.
It's just because it'll generate
Yeah,
sales.
it's like Nightmare Before Christmas. But anyway, it's like he's producing it, but it does feel like a Michael Bay film. Even like the way he redesigned the Transformers.
Yeah.
Like from these boxy characters.
Yeah.
He modernized them. And that's the same thing they're doing to these turtles, because if you look at the movies, it's definitely 80s.
Yeah.
Even the way they look. And now you have so much of ability to give the characters personality.
Yeah, I'd say that's the major point, is all the turtles now have their own kind of character.
Yep.
You look at the older live-action Ninja Turtles, as soon as you remove their mask, you couldn't tell which turtle's which.
Nope.
But now, each one of them has their own little personalized, touch to it. We've
Yeah.
got, like, the tribal beads on them.
Michael.
And, I don't know.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I was looking at the design. They leaked the statues online. Michelangelo, he's one of my favorites. He has, like, running shoes on. He had a pair of sneakers that are broken. He had the tribal tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely has the Cowabunga thing going on.
Yeah.
Leo has the traditional samurai wooden chess piece. Donatello, they had a quick shot in the trailer. But he had some backpack out of this world with some goggles. And Raphael
Being
looked like he looks huge in this movie. I think he's going to be the brawler.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's bigger than all the turtles. If you look how big he is when he hits that truck,
Mm-hmm.
he's huge.
I'm
Yeah, you see that
probably
in the trailer.
prejudging anyway because I don't know what the story is.
Yeah, we really don't know that.
Once I sit down and watch it and see how everything falls in place.
Well, that's one of the things that I don't know how much of the stuff is true about the leakage, because Nickelodeon, ever since they purchased Ninja Turtles, they've treated them with respect, and they never produced a bad Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so the fact that Nickelodeon was almost going to allow alien Ninja Turtles was weird, because
Anything to sell toys for them. That's their major thing. They've got to sell toys. That's half of their income right there.
Yeah. But I don't think it's going to be a great film. I don't like.
You don't think it's going to be a great film?
I don't think
even though you're interested?
I'm interested because I love nostalgia. I hate it, but
Yeah.
I love to see what they're gonna do and what they're gonna add to the mythology. But I'm interested, but something about it is just gonna feel like a throwaway summer flick.
Yeah, that's true. But since a lot of people are interested in it and it's got the Michael Bay plaster all over it,
Yeah.
it won't. I don't think it'll flop,
No,
but I don't think it'll.
It won't be
the
as
number
big
one
as the-
seller.
it's not
Yeah.
gonna be fresh on Rotten Tomato. I could guarantee
Yeah.
you that.
But
But yeah, I mean, everyone's talking about Shredder. How is he in the film? Is he not in the film? Is he more of a status quo? Because you see the actor, looking at the Shredder costume
okay,
as if maybe it's an honor to become the Shredder for this culture.
yeah,
And then you see the new foot soldiers. They look like SWAT teams. So that's been updated. They're walking around with guns. They're no longer
yeah.
guys
You
in
gotta
purple
be a little
suits.
modernized.
Yeah, April's still wearing her yellow jacket though.
Gotta have
Well,
a little.
not the
throwback.
yellow jumpsuit.
Not the yellow jumpsuit because, okay, not even back in the 80s it was cool to wear a yellow jumpsuit.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know where they
sorry.
got that from.
That was just fun with cartoons right there.
I remember I was having this conversation with you guys. I'm interested in seeing the story of why they chose turtles. Like, if the trailer is indicating that they're experimenting on mutating animals to make them like soldiers,
Yeah, why
turtles? Because I remember the comics, there was always an accident.
Yeah, it
You
fell
know,
into the sewers.
So now I understand why turtles.
Just
Like, why of
turtles.
all the animals in Animal Kingdom did you choose turtles? So
They
that's why
have
I'm
the
interested.
best armor capabilities.
That's true.
What were we talking about? Bebop and
Rocksteady.
The two greatest sidekick characters, they are the best.
I don't know about those two. I know in the cartoons they were great. I unless they do something dramatic, their names were straight up 80s. The look, again, breakdancers, boombox, big cold chains, sunglasses that were Hammer Time,
Brooklyn accent.
Brooklyn accent. So we'll see what if they do come in. I hope they do them justice. Part of me says, please don't.
Well, we know for a fact that they're introducing characters from the mythology. Baxter's in the film, so he eventually becomes a major villain. So maybe they'll slowly introduce.
Are they bringing Krang in?
I hope. If they bring Krang. It will be the greatest movie of all time.
Honey Boo Boo's mom? Krang, Honey Boo Boo's mom?
Yes. They have to bring in Krang.
Yeah, if you missed that, that's a thing he said. Let's just not. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing the film. I'll definitely see it with all my friends in a nice little setting. But you can't really tell with a lot of these things.
Yeah.
The trailer doesn't always say everything, though. That's one of the things I did want to touch on. Eventually, trailers.
Yes.
Trailers for
You
these
mean mini films?
mini films. I mean, this is a good segue into this. A lot of comic book movies and a lot of movies in general, the trailers are giving away everything. Like, they're spoiling the whole thing for you. I know that's one of the things Noel wanted to talk about. It's just why are they doing that kind of approach to the trailers? Like, what's your
The problem is that they're giving away too much during the trailers. I mean, what's the point of having surprise casts, surprise characters, if they're going to show it in a short or they're going to show it in a 15-second coming soon trailer? It's just way too much. I mean, I've actually made it a point for movies that I'm really interested in to stop watching the trailers for them. Even during the Super Bowl, the Iron Man trailers, just everything, I just stopped watching. Winter Soldier, I think I've seen too many trailers.
Yeah.
And that's just in passing. That's not even, I'd walk by the TV and I'd see, oh my God, this person is this? I just spoiled that part for myself. It's no longer. I think trailers, when I was growing up, should be the way the trailers. They were cutting room floor material. They were the bonus material that you would see later on when you got the special edition DVDs or laser discs or VHS tapes. Kids, if you don't know what those are, look it up on Google. I'm sure they're hanging around at the Smithsonian right now.
It's a giant cartridge about that thick. That big.
What's that?
Well, I think it's also like the times have changed. Like, it's just an example of you gotta put it all out there, or else you may potentially lose a young viewer. If you don't show, like us, I'll be happy just seeing a tease of Electro, maybe just a rhino horn or a goblin bomb or something. I'll be happy, but now the kids want to see a piece of the action scene.
And I know it's part of that gimme now. It's the gimme now, I want to be satisfied generation.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's some things that you just want to see later on.
So for the first time at the movies.
Right, for the first time. Because when I watched Thor, for example, Dark World, if you haven't seen it, I hope we're not spoiling it for you. Quickly watch it and stop playing this.
And now you should have seen it.
But in all honesty, I was thrilled to watch it because of the fact that I had no idea what was going on. And I was pleasantly surprised.
It's kind of, I know it's not a comic book movie, but like example would be like Anchorman or like comedies nowadays. They'll show you all the gags, and then when you go to movies,
you've already heard them.
You lost them, and the laughs are gone. Like same with the action scenes. If you see the action scene in the trailer, and then you spend all that money, and the effect from the film is gone.
Yeah.
So
I like what you said about having. I need water. Kids wanting to see everything now, like give me everything, let me see it all. But at the same time, you might lose some people because you're showing everything. You're not keeping it mysterious enough for them.
Yeah.
Like Amazing Spider-Man 2. You've all seen the trailer by now.
And you know the story.
I've purposely avoided the trailers except for the Electro reveal.
He hasn't, so I'm not going to mention it. But there's a scene that they show where they reveal something pertaining to the story.
That was really major, right?
Yeah, it's really major. It's a big spoiler for whatever's going to be the possibly the next installment. Mm-hmm. Me personally, they should have kept that out.
Yeah.
And saved it for when you go to the movie so that you can watch it and find out,
surprise.
Oh my God, they're going this way. But as soon as you watch that trailer, they immediately throw it in there, and it's like, really?
Ruins the whole thing.
It just ruins everything for you.
It's not like we're watching the Titanic.
Right.
We don't know what's happening at the end.
Well, now you do. So you could piece the movie together, actually.
Thank you, sir.
I know, like, one of my favorite trailers that came out recently was Godzilla. He's kind of like a Titanic situation where you kind of could figure out where the story's going.
Yeah, that's right.
But
New Godzilla
they
movie.
barely show the actual monster. You know, like, most of it, they're showing it as if he was an actual creature, a natural disaster. So they're focusing on the human side of it.
Yeah.
How this destruction, how it will affect the human.
And how
They
the
did the
humans react
same
to
back the last American Godzilla movie.
Oh, what movie? What?
I'm sorry.
I
there
remember the
was one?
trailers for them, and they didn't even show Godzilla until the movie was
Yeah,
released.
they-
Like, every trailer did not show the Godzilla. They didn't want to spoil it.
About that gigantic iguana?
Yeah, that
I'm
movie.
talking about Cloverfield 1.5.
I know what you're saying. The marketing was very good for that.
It was a
Got-
preview for Pacific Rim. That's what it was.
in a few years, a movie. But that trailer was good. The marketing was good because I remember New York City watching, like, he stands this tall and then the bus will pass by. It's like, his claws are this long, and they were just, like, teasing, like, little pieces of him.
Okay.
Even in a trailer, they'll show a tail. They'll show a finger. And then I believe in the new one, they only show, like, his spines. And then one money shot where they're closing the doors and he's roaring. And that's it. And that's, for me, that's where I stop.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, if they release a TV spot.
It's gonna
gonna
spoil
go-
too much. It's over then.
Yep.
I mean, I don't go to the theaters all too much. I always wait for Blu-ray releases because I'm an elitist like that, I guess. But I remember going to the theater not too long ago, and every single trailer that comes on before the movie, like, people even in the audience were like, "Wow, I don't have to go see that now. That trailer just explained everything." Like, I think it was Gravity. Gravity was one of the big ones. The trailer revealed everything that's going to happen. It's like, I don't need to see that now. Like, that trailer was like literally 5 minutes long and told you exactly what was going to happen that whole movie.
Remember
So
when
it's
you
like-
could go to movies and miss, if you missed 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes, those are the trailers. Now you can miss the first half hour and you're still walking on some trailers.
Yeah.
I'm really angry that advertisements are thrown in the middle of them now. Advertisements are in the middle of the trailers. They're not. They used to be before. Now they're in the middle. There are too many advertisements. They're just.
Trailer, advertisement. Trailer, advertisement.
That's why I really just wait for the Blu-ray. I don't need products thrown at me. But well, let's keep moving on these movies.
You know what movie had a great trailer? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's my personal
interesting.
pick for the summer. I think it's gonna. The trailer set up the tone of the film because people were already kind of weirded out about this movie. If you weren't weirded out, you probably didn't know what.
Yeah, not a lot of people know
Yeah.
what Guardian of the Galaxy are. It's not the most popular known comic book series out there.
But the trailer
It's-
did a great
it's an
job
offshoot, kind
saying,
of.
I might be interested in this flick.
Yeah, it definitely showed that it's a more comedic tone to the whole thing with the whole lineups and the cast is pretty funny as well. Who is doing the tree guy? Vin Diesel is doing the voice, and he only says one word the entire thing. Like, he just says his name. He never talks in anything else.
Reportedly, he's taking it very seriously.
Yeah, very seriously.
Yes. He studied that one line.
He was an
repeatedly.
amazing Iron Giant, so he's going to knock it out the park. He's going to knock it out the park.
But yeah, they definitely set the tone for that. It looks like it's going to be really interesting. And Rocket Raccoon, guys, come on.
He's going to steal the show.
Everybody likes Rocket Raccoon, right? Gamora?
All of them. Drax is cool. I think Chris Pratt is going to... A lot of people know him as the goofball from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
He lost all the weight. He looks like a superhero. He has the comedic chops.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in Jurassic Park 4, so I see him being in the future of action and superhero movies.
Did you just say Jurassic Park 4?
Yes.
They're really doing another
Yes,
one?
and Chris Pratt is the
I
main star.
had no idea.
Yeah, so he's going to be out there.
Jurassic Park. Noel, we're the hosts of this show, and these guys are bigger nerds than us. What is going on? How did they hear about this for us?
This is why I'm not on screen right now.
His nerdness has been knocked off. When there's, yeah.
So do you guys think that what do you think about Marvel's risk of choosing? You know, this is not a cheap $30 million movie.
No,
this is $100 million plus, and Marvel said, let's just do a title that 10% of the people know what this is.
I think it's a good grab because people need to know more than just Spidey, X-Men, Batman, and Superman. Like, we need more than just like the Holy Trinity or Holy Quadruple.
Exactly. Throwing that in there real quick. I was going to say that. There's, Marvel's working on Ant-Man, which is yet another character that a lot of people are not familiar with.
Yeah.
While DC, on the other hand, is stuck with either Batman or Superman. I mean, now they're bringing in Wonder Woman, sure, but it's not in her own film. It's part of another film. So
that they're laying out.
Which has been delayed, so...
I don't know, for those, again, I'm bringing up MegaCon because I attended, and I actually got to see Stan Lee, who was awesome and hilarious. Half the time he never heard the questions, he just told his own stories. But on that, he did mention a couple of characters that are going to be standalone films. He said Black Panther. That would be an interesting standalone. So he did mention that. We did mention Ant-Man. I think Marvel's got it right. The people who are writing for Marvel right now are trying to do a linear story. They're bringing everything together.
Right.
They're looking at the huge picture while DC's trying to catch up with Justice League. They're trying to make what Marvel has done with the Avengers. And the smart thing is they got nerd boys directing the films. Okay, they have fanboys doing the films, and I think that's why it's such a huge success, because it's reaching out to us, who are the fanboys and girls. I'm sorry, I don't mean to exclude the girls, because we don't have all guy panel today. But on that, and we talked about Rocket Raccoon. I know you guys seen the memes of we're ready for a Wonder Woman movie. Yeah. And that's another thing I want to segue to is the Wonder Woman. She deserves a film, and the Superman controversy. I know Man of Steel was a while back. You could tell Robert's a huge fan, but he's not the Boy Scout he was. And what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, directly coming at the guy with the shirt on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You should
Going
answer
straight to
first.
you.
There's not an S, by the way.
Yeah, this is not an S.
It means hope.
It means hope.
All right. This is the way that I look at it. I mean, these guys know I'm a huge Superman fan. For me personally, I think the movie worked. Mm-hmm. That's just me, though. There's a lot of people that'll disagree with me. They'll say the movie sucked. That Superman doesn't kill, which in fact he does. If you didn't know that.
Well, he
has. He does. I'm not saying he does. He does it all the time.
He wakes up in the morning, breaks some necks.
Yeah, he doesn't just run off and go kill somebody and come back and eat a sandwich. That's an awesome game. But I think it worked. I mean, for what they were trying to do with it, it works. Essentially you have a villain who has the exact same powers, the exact same abilities, comes from the same place as Superman. What are your options? Mm-hmm. Because, I was reading a couple things here and there, and he's just learning to be who he is. This is not like in Superman 2, the original series, where he flies off into the moon, throws, what was it, Nuclear Man?
Yeah.
Throws him into the elevator and leaves him there.
Oh.
He's still developing his powers. He just learned how to fly.
Yeah.
So, what other choice do you have if you have someone who has your same abilities and powers
And military training.
Yeah.
Your only option is to kill him.
Yeah. Especially when he puts you between a rock and a hard place.
Exactly, and we were talking about that before. That's your only option. I mean, after he killed him, he's on his knees crying because he just killed another person.
And someone from his own race at that.
Someone from his own race.
Potentially the last person.
People.
Right, potentially the last person as well. And with the values that he grew up with and what he was taught, this is wrong. So he regrets what he did, but he had no choice.
Now, do you think another thing a lot of fanboys and girls have discussed is the collateral damage in Metropolis? Oh. Do you think that's setting up for the new Superman versus?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it makes him a villain. I think they villainized Superman in that sense because he destroys so much of Metropolis. You got Lex Luthor, you got Bruce Wayne, who are they're gonna peg him as, look, this guy is dangerous as hell.
Well, there's a villain that does that all the time. His name is Lex.
That's
I think Zack Snyder first he wanted to show you the scope of Superman. He's saying, look, this guy, he does more than just pick heavy things up. This is how strong he is. So he wants to say, this is our universe. We're establishing. This is not Christopher Reeves,
Right.
So now it gives us a chance for these billionaires to come into. Who's gonna rebuild Metropolis? Maybe now it'll look like the Metropolis that we see in the comics, where it's more extravagant.
Yeah.
Because Metropolis is pretty basic in this film.
Right.
Yeah, it's just another New York City.
So maybe now that Lex is gonna be involved, doing security systems, he's gonna become Metropolis. He's gonna vilify Kal-El, or Superman, as some people call him. But
that's one of the things they didn't like. They called him Superman once in the film, and it was mostly a joke.
It was a joke.
Like these superhero movies now.
Was it?
Twice.
It was just once, right?
Yeah, it was just Lois Lane is like you're my Superman.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And
Well, that's
it's
the
just
way it should be.
It means hope. But yeah, these a lot of these new just about every superhero movie, they're not actually calling themselves what their comic book names are, except for Batman, because I'm Batman.
Yeah. It's I think it has to go back to what we talked about, having these directors with a fresh vision coming into the project, and they're saying, oh man, I'm not gonna call him the Wolverine, like if I'm about to fight you, I'm not gonna call you by some code name.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta have a huge ego for that. Like Tony Stark. He's like, yeah, I'm Iron Man.
Yeah, you gotta be I'm Iron Man.
Billions of dollars.
You gotta have billions of dollars.
Iron Man would be a character that sticks to because he's out there. Spider-Man would embrace the name. But in the Avengers, Hulk, they only referenced Hulk once, and that's when Captain America said Hulk smash.
Right.
Everything else was the other guy.
Yeah.
The angry guy. You don't want to make me, the other side. Captain America got called Captain America because that was a part of the propaganda from the film.
Yeah, that was propaganda.
So the name stuck with him. But even then, they call him Cap.
Yeah,
or
Cap.
Steve, I don't even... Did they call her Black Widow? Like, maybe once?
I think her code name was that.
I heard Natasha.
But
it was always Natasha.
Natasha, yeah.
Avengers 1, they did say, this is the infamous Black Widow.
Okay.
So they did mention her name once, and they even referenced Hawkeye as a joke as well. He's in his Hawk's nest. So I'm glad that they're getting away from all that. Another thing I want to mention is the new X-Men movie, The Sleeper. Nobody's talked about it because it's so far and at the end of the year. Kyle hasn't seen the new X-Men First Class.
I haven't either.
No?
You haven't seen First Class either?
Oh my gosh.
You guys need to do some research.
I think definitely this weekend.
I honestly think it saved the X-Men franchise. Because number 3 was just...
I don't remember a third movie.
The reason, and thankfully, and I'll give tiny spoiler for Days of Future Past, 3 does not exist because of Days of Future Past. That's all I'm saying.
They completely retcon it pretty much.
They
do a movie retcon because they admit that the third movie wasn't good, and the last one I had watched was X-Men Origins Wolverine Origins. That wasn't my cup of tea. But Baraka, Deadpool has been my favorite for a while. That's the one I started from the beginning and read almost all of them. And I'm a Deadpool cosplayer. I'll hold up a little box that is my Deadpool cosplay there. I just also want to notice now that it's getting later into the day, I'm being really whitewashed over here. I am like pale as I could be right now. Sorry about that.
You're so brilliant, you shine.
Ah, yes. I have reached nerd enlightenment. But I still have to go and watch Nerdvana. We're not letting you come up with names.
I wanted to see if we can talk about Superman, Batman again.
Superman versus Batman.
/ Wonder Woman.
/ Wonder Woman.
/ maybe Green Lantern. /
League.
maybe. I just want to talk about the movie.
Let's go.
Other than the controversy with the death, I think more importantly, where that movie I liked the film, but it really failed capturing who Superman is. And the truth is like there is no Superman. There's Clark Kent. They forgot to focus on the fact that he was raised by Earthlings.
Right.
And it depended too much on his damn father guiding him in the film, who he just... Like, you was raised by Clark, by his father, right? And his mother. But all of a sudden, you're listening to the daddy you just met in the computer ship.
The whole movie,
Like, his moral compass should have been everything from his parents.
His human self, yeah.
His human side, like, it focused more on the alien side, and I think maybe that's why he didn't... First, the movie lacked any comic relief.
Yeah, there was.
And that was a big mistake. I think there was only one comic relief scene with the truck. Yeah. Other than that, that movie was way too serious, and he wasn't... They didn't develop Clark Kent, who discovered the powers. He just an alien.
Yeah.
So it's gonna maybe now. It's gonna be so interesting to see after he kills someone, because you know Lex is gonna come after him.
Oh yeah, Lex.
And Batman is Batman. You know his no killing policy.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman is all about killing. So if you got to do what you got to do.
Wonder Woman is a huge murderer.
Yeah, that's how they're raised. Like Amazonians
are warriors. You fight to the death.
So it's gonna be interesting. Batman's gonna say, you're not from this planet. I don't trust you, but I believe you can do good. And Wonder Woman's gonna be the other side. Mm-hmm. If this is what you have to do.
Split there.
Yeah, this is what you have to do to keep humanity safe. So now maybe this will give us a chance to see Clark Kent say, I screwed up killing Zod.
Yeah.
I'll throw my 2 cents in there. I kind of disagree with you.
Okay.
This is the way I saw it. From the beginning of the film, you can see that the values that his parents taught him are there. Trying to rescue the people in the oil rig. That one scene where Lois is like, the only way you'll disappear is if you stop helping helping people, and I don't see you doing that. The whole finding out about where he was from came later. Mm-hmm. So for me, this is just for me. Throughout the whole movie, he's trying to find himself. You see all the flashbacks, the talks that his father had with him. The part where he's like, "Can I just go back to pretending I'm your son?"
Yeah, that was
and
that
Jonathan
was the best.
tells him, "Yes, you are my son."
Yeah.
But somewhere out there, you have another father who gave you another name. That's how I saw it. Like the whole, this is where you're really from, and embracing that alien part came later. But because even after he put on the suit and tried to start flying and get used to the powers that he has, he was still trying to figure out.
See, I think that's the biggest part I disagree with you on, because Superman never knew about his history. When he was learning about his powers, he never had reference.
Yeah.
He was just...
That's true.
I gained the X-ray vision flashes. I love those childhood scenes where he's like panicking, having a panic. Because you can imagine, this is traumatic for anybody, but he never became Clark Kent. He was this wanderer. He was fixing oil rigs. He never got to see, Smallville. You never got to see him play football at Smallville and struggle with Lana. Like,
they couldn't fit that much into that movie.
because he's like, imagine being the most handsome guy in the world, but you're not allowed to be. You can't. You have to be this goofball, and his father has to teach him. You could be the captain of a football team, and you could score 1,000 points on anything you do, but you can't do this, son. You have to become a goofball.
I think
so. Like, and not to cut you off, but I do. I agree with you in that sense. Like with the first Superman movie, they really went into all that, how he grew up, how he was in Smallville, how he developed.
Like, you don't even know he knows he's an alien, but at the same time, he too much of his history was revealed. He should find out later on. He should become a human first, a full developed human, and then discover his
about
history.
his alien half. Okay. Now, and this probably brings us to our next subject too, is about the elitists and the acceptance of new fans and everything. But I think, in all honesty, I think the reason why they went that route is because of the fact that it's common knowledge. This generation is more in tune with comic storylines than they were when we had to search the storylines as kids. I believe
we did.
I know. We didn't know all this stuff. With Smallville, with Birds of Prey, the new Arrow series, What else is out there? Even the old films.
Oh, let's talk about that. Agents of Shield.
Agents of Shield. Yeah. I actually enjoy. I'm a Joss Whedon fan, and the fact that he ties in a lot of the movies with the show, I enjoy that. So but again, with Zack Snyder, I think he knew there was already a fan base that was aware of Superman's history.
But
so why revisit it and just show a darker Man of Steel, a newer version of him?
I understand what you're trying to say, but you cut out half of his Superman's history got cut out when Lois Lane already discovered he was Superman. Like that whole sexual tension between Superman and Lois and Clark Kent, all those stories could never be developed anymore.
And I think that's why a lot of people didn't like this new Lois Lane, because again, she wasn't as tough as she was growing. When we watched the Christopher Reeve version, Lois Lane was a tough nut to crack compared to this new lighter Lois Lane.
Yeah.
So, who looked like Lana for that matter, because she was a redhead instead of the dark-haired.
Another problem, just a quick throwaway. I hate when the female characters or the love interests are involved with the major plot at the end, like to help save the situation. Like they always gotta toss in a little romance story in there. But I don't care about the romance. Like she had to jump on the ship to save him and do all this stuff.
Like her romance part of the movie directly influenced the plot, and it's just like, come on, it doesn't need to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way.
It seems forced a little bit.
Yeah. Like Gwen Stacy, you stay here, locked in this safe room. I swear to God, if you're in this finale, I don't understand. Like all the females have to be involved. My biggest problem of all time is the unmasking. Like you cannot have a superhero movie without them taking off their mask at the end. It's like they want to show the actor's face.
Yeah, it
all started with Batman Returns, where he decided to tear off his mask to show Michelle Pfeiffer his face.
Oh, no! Yeah. Now I'm gonna go. They didn't all do that.
Who?
The new Judge Dredd.
Okay.
Never took
his helmet off. Not like the Sylvester Stallone version, which I still enjoy that one because it's campy. But the new Judge Dredd with Carl Urban, he never took his helmet off, and that was more true to the comics than you've ever seen Judge Dredd.
One of the most overlooked comic book movies.
Extremely. And I enjoyed the hell out of the new one.
Oh man, the new one.
It's darker. It felt like a Judge Dredd movie.
Yeah. It definitely
still on my to-do list.
It definitely.
He's like the 1% of the comic books because Iron Man 1, his mask gets ripped off at the end. Captain America, no mask at the end. The finale, he takes off the helmet thing. The Hulk is the Hulk. I mean, obviously he can't. But
there's no way to.
Spider-Man has to take off his mask. Like
they gotta show the pretty.
You gotta show the pretty face. I swore to God that I thought Batman was gonna take off his mask at the end of the movie before he kissed Catwoman or something. I was like, if he would have done that, I would have been done.
He was smart.
Yeah, good.
he kept it on. And Batman's not going to take off his mask for anybody.
Oh, yes, he will. Michelle Pfeiffer. He'll rip that.
You don't talk about that.
You don't talk about the movie with the penguins marching around with the rockets on their heads?
All right, if it was you and Michelle Pfeiffer, would you not take off the mask?
I would take off that mask because I couldn't twist my neck. That movie, Batman Returns, I would have ripped my mask off too if I couldn't turn my neck. Even the scene where he ripped his mask off, he had a hard time.
Yeah, because he still had it.
He still had it like
here, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully in the comic book, like Daredevil. I know we don't like to talk about this film a lot.
I always like to just note that Daredevil introduced me to Evanescence and the beauty of that woman.
The Kingpin discovered his identity, and he fought the final scene without his mask. So hopefully this was a trend.
It's okay. He's blind. He can't see anyway.
Like, I didn't notice that my mask was off. But yeah, that's.
Oops.
I think those are my comic book pet peeves: the masking, the naming. Don't say the names; they're just ridiculous.
Yeah, you say the comic book movies or the comic book names in the movie. It is a little ridiculous. I mean, that's something that really only does work.
It does work in the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah, because they're naming them.
Because they make fun of it.
Yeah, they're making fun of who
calls it the Star-Lord? He does.
What an a-hole. That's actually one of the things that I had a gripe with is that guy just using the word a-hole.
Yeah.
Just kind of put a weird touch to the movie. Like it's trying to be edgy, but also PG-13.
Yeah.
So everybody can watch.
So everybody could watch it. I mean, it's just a-holes, like a British guy saying that. Hey, the British guy doesn't say that.
Yeah, they actually said that when they were filming that scene that he didn't want to say that.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
not a word that they
That's
say.
not a word that they say.
That's
They
why
still said
maybe
it.
that's why his delivery was so
Weird.
remembered.
It was a little awkward, yeah.
I hope they make fun of that too in the movie.
Well, as always, any comments and anything in general as far as what you have to say, feel free to write it down. We'll have space for comments on our YouTube, on our blog channels, Facebook, Tumblr. Maximize Your Nerd. And as always, we look forward to doing this again. I think the comic book episode is going to definitely be longer than what we've expected it to be. I hope we bring Jose and Robert back for another episode. This has been totally enjoyable.
It's been awesome.
I don't think I've had such a great discussion in a while. And for this to be our official first episode, opposed to the pilot, this has been, for me, one of the better ones to subjects as far as, nerdgasms. Just having fun talking about comic books. It's definitely my field.
Well, this is how it should feel when you walk into a comic book shop.
Yeah.
You should walk out the comic book shop
Feeling good.
excited to buy the next batch of comics.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we've had lovely discussions here. Like we've had opposing viewpoints, but everyone here is respected, and that's what I like here, man. We left our inhibitions at the door, and we had a good time talking. I mean, I'm no longer whitewashed. The sun has gone in. We
You
have
can see the reflection from the TV now.
Yeah,
That's
you
how
can
long
see
the
what's going on. We
podcast-
got Spider-Man going on over there, but yeah, we it's been hours in here. I've probably cut a little bit out of there, so it's not hours for you. It's probably been a good amount of time for you guys. But the sun's already in, and yeah, we had a great time here tonight. I mean, I thank you guys for joining Maximize Your
Thank
Nerds.
you for inviting us.
First comic, like getting right into the super nerdy stuff. When you think about nerds, comic books. That's our number one. That's our fallback. We've always got our comic books, guys. No matter what. How many times has the comic book industry said that comics are they're gonna have a falling out? They're not popular anymore. We always strive. We love our comics.
Batman just celebrated 75 years,
Yep.
and he's going to
That's right.
outlive all these comic book characters are going to outlive all of us.
It's true. And
No
that's
matter-
the greatest thing there.
No matter what form they're delivered in, they're always
Comic
going to be
books will
around.
always be there for you. Thanks, Batman. But
Happy,
all right.
happy 75th
But
birthday.
for me personally, this was awesome.
Oh yeah.
It feels like we've been sitting here forever talking about this. But that's the beauty about having conversations like this, which ties into the whole elitist thing. This is what comic books and discussions should be like. We should all get together, talk about our comic books, and make recommendations, not throw things at each other like, you shouldn't read that, or that sucks, you should...
That's not part of the game.
That's not part of the history, you should go back and read this. No, we should all come together, and even if you disagree, like you saw earlier, we disagreed on something, but we did it in the right way. We weren't throwing punches at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Although that would have been entertaining.
It would have been
It
entertaining,
would have been,
but it's not what we do.
That's not what we do. So, again, thank you so much for having us. It was awesome.
Thank you guys for joining us. It's been a blast, and I hope to see you guys again soon.
Absolutely.
Now, this is Kyle signing off for Maximize Your Nerd. And always remember, guys, we're here to maximize your nerd. Whose nerd? My
Yours,
nerd.
mine,
his,
ours, everyone's.
Noel's. There's Noel to say
Hey, off screen again.
off screen. But thanks you guys for watching, and that's it for today. Catch us again next week. Woo! Have a good night, guys.
I hate you so much, Robert. Let's go fight right now.
I'm going outside, but to get into my car.
The wife's like, where the hell are you?
Oh, yeah, she just sent me a text. Where are you? How long are you going to take?
Doesn't
when we
matter.
talk about comics,
There's
it's
two
only 5
more.
minutes. I
But
try to-
yeah,
You don't
guys,
understand. These
that was
guys
great.
know.
That was a long ass episode. I thought the last time, last week was long.
This one was long. But you know
So
what?
sorry,
There's so
Hanar,
much
you,
good-
we
good
talked more
material out
than
of
you,
this.
but we had one extra person.
Next time if you want, we can focus it down more.
All right, we're gonna show Kernan before.
We're in the 9-minute